Episode 426, A Mother's Help, Part 1.
1 month later. Where did you get your bag? I need a new set before spring comes. I've started to plan out my looks for the season. I've already sat with my dressmaker to look over the fabric. You will be jealous when you see what I have planned. Alessandra drowned out the conversation about dresses, shoes, and bags. She was more focused on the juice that calmed her stomach. She hoped the conversation wouldn't turn to her about what she planned for spring. She was going to wear whatever Aaron had planned for her. Duchess, excuse me for being late, Heather said as she sat beside Alessandra. Did I miss anything important? Alessandra was happy to see Heather present. A few women received an invitation to attend a small sit-down with important women in Lockwood. For the last 2 weeks, Alessandra had been trying to be more social with her peers. With Alfred's help, she critically picked through all the invitations she received. Today's invitation came from an older woman Edgar was familiar with, as he had helped her in the past. You have not missed anything. They are already on the topic of dresses for spring. Thank you for showing up. Alessandra hugged Heather. She was in dire need of someone to talk to. Men were not invited, so Edgar was absent. After sending letters back and forth to Hazel, Alessandra learned the Queen was busy. Hazel was not making much of an appearance these days, and Linda was out of town. I take it you wish to be excluded as you have not started to prepare for spring. Neither have I, Heather whispered. She preferred waiting until spring was at least 1 week away to rearrange her dresses. Something looks different about you today. Have you stumbled upon a new cream? I need one for my face. Alessandra touched her face. I don't have a new cream, she replied. She stopped applying the cream from the palace to save it, even though Edgar could quickly get more. Oh, maybe it is your dress or jewelry that make you look different today. I heard of a new business with creams coming to Lockwood soon. We should plan a day with Eleanor to see if it is good. We have not spent a day together for the last week, Heather said. After the ball, Heather found herself closer than ever to Alessandra and Eleanor, thanks to Dominic, who kept inviting her to dinner at the Collins estate. Now Dominic was out of town in his new home, but Heather continued to visit Alessandra. Eleanor would visit Heather's home from time to time and once spent the night. It was refreshing for Heather to be surrounded by women who genuinely cared for her. I didn't know she was going to be here today. Alessandra looked around to see who it was the women at her table were talking about. To her surprise, it was Priscilla. Even though Alessandra was social these days, she had never encountered Priscilla, not even at the ball, as Priscilla did not attend. Priscilla's marriage to Edmund was officially over, and the day it was over, Alessandra heard Priscilla walk around like a new woman. During Rose's time in town, she tried to make Priscilla an outcast, but it did not work. Priscilla continued to be the powerful social queen she was, with young women rushing to her side as she entered. Duchess? Nadine, the Viscountess, sat down in the empty chair to the right of Alessandra. It has been a while since we last saw each other. Alessandra looked away from Priscilla to the woman with the fake smile in front of her. Weeks had passed since she met Nadine while shopping in town, but Alessandra did not forget Nadine's friend speaking negatively to her. Alessandra knew Nadine had put the young woman up to it, but Nadine continued to act innocent. It was always amusing to Alessandra how, from the very beginning, she was never the only one wearing a mask. Her mask was just visible. Viscountess, Alessandra greeted Nadine. I always look forward to seeing you, but you never attend the same gatherings I do. Luckily, I had the pleasure of getting to know your sister. She's a sweet little thing. Her wedding is drawing near. She told me the Marquess prefers to get married in spring. She doesn't like the wait, but what can she do? Nadine smiled as she remembered the troubles of finding a good date that pleased her husband. Alessandra responded simply, as nothing about Kate's wedding interested her. When you attend the wedding, maybe we can try to sit together. If you have been spending time with Kate, as you said, you would know we are not close enough for me to attend or be interested in any details about her wedding. If you weren't aware, I am letting you know now that what you speak of is none of my concern, Alessandra said, ending the topic of Kate quickly. Life was going well, as she had not thought about Kate or Katrina since the ball. Nadine would not be the reason she started to care about either. Nadine pitifully looked at the other women seated at the table and said, I apologize. I thought the two sisters would be close. Have I offended you in any way, Duchess? We have hardly spoken to each other, but it feels like you have some sort of hatred toward me. Is it because I mentioned your sister? Not at all. I am just not in the mood to pretend, Alessandra replied. She did not join in with what the other women did by playing friendly with women who did not like her. I don't understand what you mean. As noble women and wives, I thought we could become close enough to offer each other advice. I could offer you advice on children when you have one. Nadine rubbed the bulge of her stomach. Or how to have one. It has been some time without any news from you. When your child is born, I can help to teach them the manners you clearly lack, Alessandra replied. The questions about when she would have a child for Edgar needed to stop. Alessandra thought of it as a classless jab other women should avoid using. Life was strange, and Nadine could find herself desperately wishing to have another child but would not be blessed with one. Nadine didn't take offense to Alessandra's words, as in the end, she was able to be blessed with the child her husband wanted. Nadine's eyes lit up when she noticed who entered the room. Duchess, do you worry about the saying, like father, like son? What? Alessandra replied that she didn't need to see what Nadine was referring to. Well, talk about Edmund Collins' mistress has been going around since the divorce. There have been other women before you. The Duke was seen with a few women on his arm. Aren't you worried he will be like his father? Where did the former wife and the mistress run into each other? Nadine pointed to the woman who entered the room smiling and ignored the murmur around her. Collins men can do as they want. I just hope you aren't in the same position as your mother-in-law one day. Alessandra looked at the woman Nadine pointed to. She had never seen this woman before, and though she knew of Edmund once cheating on Priscilla, everyone made it seem like the woman was dead. Alessandra thought Nadine was lying until she looked in Priscilla's direction and saw her frown for a second. Then a smile appeared on her lips to mask what she was feeling. So much for a peaceful day, Alessandra thought. You look surprised, Duchess. Did you not know she was appearing in town these days? Or did you not know what she looked like? I thought the Collins family would have a big meeting to deal with this, but Priscilla isn't a Collins anymore, so your family wouldn't care. She must be boiling. Viscountess? Alessandra stopped Nadine before more of the nonsense flowing out of her mouth could be said. The seats were assigned, so I must remind you that you have stayed where you do not belong for far too long. You should watch what you say about other women before you find yourself in a similar position years later. Karma skips no one. Nadine rolled her eyes. Always the fool. Everyone knows Priscilla did not care for you, yet you defend her. It's even more comical that you sit with the woman she wanted her son to marry. Your replacement isn't so far away. Alessandra took a deep breath. She did not want to be the one to argue with a pregnant woman, though Nadine would deserve it. You are out of line, Viscountess. Instead of questioning the Duchess about her family, you should be more concerned about your husband's late whereabouts in the red light district. Rumors have started to visit the stores I frequent for my bags, Heather said in defense of Alessandra. My husband would never, Nadine huffed, standing up to escape the lies. If she can paint your husband as a cheater when he is not, then I can do the same to her husband. I don't know the slightest thing about the Viscount. Heather shrugged. She lied in the moment to help Alessandra. Thank you. You've been spending too much time with Eleanor. I don't have it in me to argue with a pregnant woman. I feel tired. Oh. Alessandra yawned. Her attention went from Edmund's former lover to her empty glass. The juice had worked at first, but now it felt like it slowly wanted to come back up to make her vomit. Alessandra picked up her glass of water to help with her uneasy feeling. Early in the morning, she didn't feel well, but she did not want to remain at home when she had already replied that she would be in attendance today. Only a few hours, she said as motivation. Are you all right? Heather touched Alessandra's shoulder. Yes, but I think I drank too much juice. I might have upset my stomach by drinking water. Alessandra covered her mouth. The water had not helped to settle her urge to throw up all the juice she had drunk. I need to find a bathroom. She stood up as any minute she could let it all out. Would you like me to join you? Heather asked. Yes, Alessandra replied. But when she noticed the woman Nadine pointed out as Edmund's lover standing near Priscilla's table, she changed her mind. No, I will go with someone else. Priscilla! Alessandra called to the other side of the room. I am not feeling well. Can you please join me in going to the bathroom? Confused was an understatement to Priscilla. She was already trying to deal with Edmund's foolish whore trying to attend the same parties as her. Cassidy was acting like she needed to convince Priscilla to let Edmund go, despite their divorce. It was obvious that Alessandra was trying to help Priscilla avoid speaking with Cassidy or being entertainment for the other women. Another day, Priscilla might have remained in her seat. But she stood up because she was not in the mood to hear Cassidy act as if they were friends. Why is she trying to help me? Priscilla thought. She had not seen Edgar or Alessandra for weeks, and Alessandra was acting like some savior. On the bright side, Alessandra and Priscilla leaving together would take the conversation away from Cassidy for a moment. The women would try to put together when Alessandra and Priscilla had formed a good relationship. I didn't need your help, Priscilla said when they left the room. I've been doing a good job avoiding her for 2 weeks. That doesn't change the fact that you wanted to get away from her just now. You wouldn't have come with me if you didn't. Where's the bathroom? Alessandra asked a passing maid. Another minute of talking, and she might throw up the juice where she stood now. After receiving the directions, Alessandra quickly picked up her pace to find the bathroom. Priscilla followed behind, walking with her arms folded as she tried to figure out what was happening with Alessandra. Do you honestly need to use the bathroom? I thought it was a fake excuse. I am not going to go inside a bathroom with you. I need to vomit, Alessandra said, keeping her mouth covered with her right hand while the left grabbed as much of her dress as it could to help her run. Vomit? Priscilla said in disbelief. Alessandra started to look pale, and kept covering her mouth like she wanted to vomit. Curious about something, Priscilla continued to follow Alessandra. "Well, this is a nice surprise," Priscilla said as she closed the door of the room Alessandra ran into. She locked it to give them privacy in case someone wanted to eavesdrop. Priscilla scrunched up her nose, put off by the sound of Alessandra throwing up everything in her stomach. She found herself in an awkward situation, unsure if she should pat Alessandra's back or say comforting words. She could have been a better person for situations like this. She was already afraid of Alessandra's vomit getting on her new shoes and dress. "I must be crazy," Priscilla muttered, walking toward Alessandra slumped over the toilet. Priscilla hesitated initially, but eventually she pulled Alessandra's hair back. "You must be the crazy one to attend these gatherings while pregnant. When I had Edgar, I remained home and sat near a bathroom." "What?" Alessandra looked up at Priscilla. Her head felt light, and her forehead started to sweat profusely. Her stomach was better after she vomited, but she was not done with vomiting yet. While trying to feel better, Priscilla mentioning her being pregnant surprised her. "Don't tell me that you have not noticed a change in your body. You are pregnant. Why do you think you are here vomiting everything you have eaten?" Priscilla replied. "I thought it was because I drank too much juice. My stomach feels uneasy," Alessandra softly spoke. She wanted nothing more than to lie on the floor right now. "You thought wrong. This is how it starts. I couldn't keep anything down during the first few weeks with Edgar. I stuck to water and a few fruits. I fired 3 cooks until I found the perfect one who brought me what I liked. You need to see a doctor right now. The beginning of your pregnancy is dangerous. And just to be sure, you need to be checked to see if you are pregnant. When was the last time you bled?" Priscilla asked. I cannot remember right now," Alessandra replied. She couldn't place a date, but now that she thought about it, she hadn't bled for a while. At first, she and Edgar paid attention to it, but then they decided not to worry about it. Neither wanted to get excited, but then they faced disappointment when she started to bleed. "Get it all out first, and then I will walk you to your carriage. If you vomit on my shoes, you will find yourself in the dungeon I just spent a fortune to build," Priscilla warned, but she didn't mean it. She didn't want to pick a fight with Edgar again.
Episode 428, A Mother's Help, Part 3.
"Are you certain you are finished? I don't feel like rushing back to the bathroom with you," Priscilla said, carefully releasing Alessandra's hair. "These shoes are not meant for running around in." "I am finished for now," Alessandra replied. Priscilla looked away from the mess Alessandra created. "Go wash your mouth. I will get rid of this. At this age, I didn't think I would deal with a pregnant woman throwing up." "I'm sorry. I wouldn't have called you if I knew I was going to vomit, but thank you for holding my hair," Alessandra said, grateful to have Priscilla around. It was awkward since they had never interacted pleasantly, but Alessandra appreciated the help. "It would have annoyed me if your hair had bits of vomit. Nothing more," Priscilla mumbled, coming to stand beside Alessandra to wash her hands after taking care of the vomit in the toilet. This was going to stay in her mind for days. "Have you and Edgar spoken about children?" Priscilla couldn't picture her cold-hearted son excited to be a father. Edgar always said children were a nuisance. "We were trying to have one," Alessandra answered. She could already picture Edgar not wanting her to leave the house, and Alfred might probably faint. "Rose will be ecstatic, but a little advice. Keep her far away from you during your pregnancy. It's already stressful and painful enough, but she will make your life hell. She picks at everything you put in your body, and she visits too much. When my body is becoming bigger, the last person I want to see is Rose," Priscilla said, remembering how many times she wanted to stab Rose with a fork. Alessandra rinsed out her mouth with water to get rid of the taste and smell of vomit. "I have not spoken to Rose for more than a month now. Edgar will have to be the one to tell her when he wants to." Priscilla smiled, but cleared her throat to hide her excitement. It was satisfying to know what she told Rose had happened. "What happened between the two of you?" she asked. "I know this must be amusing for you, but I would rather go home and have a doctor visit me. I just want to lie in bed at the moment. I wouldn't mind a cold floor," Alessandra said as the bathroom floor seemed tempting. She did not want to leave the toilet. Right, Priscilla remembered. It was enough to know Rose had been at odds with Edgar for over a month. Had she known this, she would have rubbed it in Rose's face when she was here in Lockwood. "We need to get your bag and mine before we go. This party is already ruined for me. There is no point in staying, so I might as well go home." "You don't need to answer if you don't want to. Why is that woman here? I don't know her name," Alessandra said, referring to Edmund's former or maybe current lover. "She crawled out of the hole she had been hiding in for years. It makes me wonder if that bastard has been seeing her during our marriage. He and his mother lied to me about taking care of that woman. Now that my marriage is no longer in place, she keeps showing up and wanting to apologize. But there's more to it." "Why am I explaining this to you?" Priscilla asked, confused as to why she was telling Alessandra this. "You have been waiting to vent to someone, but others will spread it around," Alessandra answered. "I don't know you well enough to trust you won't repeat anything I say, and I still don't like you. Don't let what I am doing now confuse you," Priscilla said, hoping this was clear as they left the bathroom. Alessandra smiled, knowing Priscilla didn't believe her own words. "You don't like me, but you certainly care. You do have a heart, after all. I am possibly carrying your grandchild. You should want to care for me so the child is safe." "A grandchild I will never see," Priscilla reminded Alessandra. Edgar would not let her near his little family, which was her fault. The prospect of having a grandchild had not crossed her mind until now. Quite frankly, she did not want anyone calling her grandmother. "It's never too late to fix your relationship with Edgar. I will tell him how you have helped me, or maybe you can go home with me." "To a house where I was placed in a cell? No, thank you. I still hear rats scratching at the damn box when I go to sleep. Edgar won't be pleased to see me showing up with you. There is no going back from what happened with Alfred. If you weren't informed, we avoided each other," Priscilla said. Her relationship with Edgar was better when they did not encounter each other. Alessandra thought differently. Priscilla still had a chance as long as she put in the effort. There was already some change to Priscilla. The woman she met right after she married Edgar would not have helped her in this bathroom today. Alessandra pitied Priscilla for living in a big house all alone. It reminded her of the small room she had in her father's home, except a big mansion had to be more torture. The big space would remind you of the fact that you were alone. Priscilla probably enjoyed the peace at first, but then she missed having someone around. I am inviting you there. Truthfully, if I am pregnant, I have no one around me to ask for advice. As you said, I shouldn't have Rose around, so my only option is you, Alessandra said, crossing her fingers behind her back. Priscilla would say yes. If Edgar isn't thrilled by your presence, I will make sure you leave safely. You certainly know how to make someone feel sorry for you. There are plenty of women for you to speak with, but I suppose none will understand having a small tyrant growing inside you. Let's be clear. I am only helping because you are carrying my grandchild. It has nothing to do with you and Edgar. The two of you give me a headache, Priscilla said, dramatically touching her head as if there was a headache. This family is full of dramatic characters, Alessandra thought. I will not forget it. Can we please leave now? I need to lie down, Alessandra said, touching her stomach, which was feeling upset again. Our bags. Those nosy women must have their fingers all over my bag. I can't... Are you serious? Priscilla scowled, rolling her eyes at the person waiting outside the room she and Alessandra were leaving. It is Edmund you are meant to seek out, not me, Cassidy. Priscilla. Cassidy took a step toward the angry woman. I am so sorry. Why do you think I care to hear an apology from you? You and I were not married, nor did we have a friendship. I don't want to hear sorry from you. I want you to leave me alone. Priscilla spoke calmly despite her anger. It wasn't easy to control her anger when her ex-husband's first love kept stalking her, but she would not allow Cassidy to rile her up and make a scene. Shouldn't you be trying to get with Edmund now? He is free. We never knew each other, but I caused your marriage to be ruined. I have to at least apologize for that, said Cassidy. The nerve of women like you. I might have accepted you feeling remorseful if you would have stopped fucking him in the early years of my marriage, but now I know I wouldn't have cared for what you had to say then. You did not ruin my marriage. You weren't a part of the vows I made with Edmund. Stop bothering me before I finish what Rose could not, Priscilla said, meaning every word of her threat. Stop showing up where I am. Have you no respect for yourself? Cassidy licked her lips. I have not heard from Edmund, and no one knows where he has been since your divorce. I cannot go to your mother, so... She trailed off, hoping Priscilla understood what she wanted. He picked someone with no common sense over me, Priscilla muttered, feeling like she was slapped in the face as she realized just how foolish Cassidy was. To be so desperate to come to me as a last resort to find Edmund. You don't have a drop of shame inside of you. At least it amused me. Get out of our way. Priscilla held Alessandra's hand. She didn't need Alessandra being nice to this woman. Duchess. Cassidy grabbed Alessandra's free hand to stop her from leaving. We have never been introduced. Alessandra didn't like the push and pull situation she was in now when she could vomit at any second. We do not need to be introduced to each other. Please release my hand. You will regret it if you do not, Alessandra warned, but it wasn't a threat like Priscilla's. If they kept holding her like this, she was going to vomit on one of them. Cassidy slowly released Alessandra's hand. We couldn't help that we loved each other. No one cares about your ruined love story, Priscilla stated, pulling Alessandra away now that her other hand was free. If you had tried to be nice to her just now, all thoughts about me helping you would have been tossed out a window. That woman has to be aware to never approach me. Can we slow down? Alessandra covered her mouth. The quick movements were not helpful. Priscilla slowed down and released Alessandra's hand as she remembered she was walking with a pregnant woman who could vomit on her at any time. Why am I getting involved with this? She looked up for answers. Between Cassidy and Alessandra, she was bound to have a few more white hairs. Take your time and go to your carriage. I will get our bags and join you shortly. If she approaches you again, scream as hard as you can. My son might have the ability to show up before you get rid of her. I would enjoy it if he put her in a cell. Walk carefully when you go down the stairs. If you fall, you risk the life of your child. Go. Priscilla shooed Alessandra away. Priscilla ignored Cassidy walking at a distance behind them. Cassidy would be more of a fool than Priscilla thought if she tried to approach her or Alessandra again. Luckily, Cassidy went off in another direction. Priscilla waited for Alessandra to get a good head start at leaving before she left to collect their bags from the room full of nosy women who would want to know why they were leaving so soon and would think it had something to do with Cassidy. Priscilla didn't care who thought she was trying to run away from being in the same room as Cassidy. Is this Alessandra's bag? Priscilla asked the women at Alessandra's table. Heather thought she was hallucinating as Priscilla, of all people, was asking for Alessandra's bag. It is, Heather answered, squirming in her seat from Priscilla being so close. Is the Duchess all right? We are leaving. She is ill, Priscilla answered, leaving out the pregnancy as it wasn't her news to share. Having nothing more to say to Heather or the other women, Priscilla picked up Alessandra's bag and went for her own. Heather stood with her bag to follow Priscilla so she could check on Alessandra. She did not forget there was something wrong with Alessandra before she left to go to the bathroom, and wanted to check on Alessandra to see if she was sick, or if this was an act to help Priscilla escape an awkward situation. Where are you going? Priscilla looked to her right at Heather following her. To check on Alessandra. I shouldn't let her go without knowing if she is all right. I wouldn't be a good friend if I did not check on her, Heather replied, but then looked away from Priscilla. Priscilla continued to leave before any of the other women could offer to join her to see Alessandra off. Heather was better than the others, so she didn't mind walking with the young woman. You don't need to be wary of me. I won't say anything to hurt your feelings. Your mother has already given me an earful, and I would rather not hear more. I didn't know she spoke to you. I am not wary. It is just awkward. It has been a long time since we have seen each other. It is a bit odd to go from seeing you daily to not seeing you for weeks, said Heather. It is. I must admit, I do miss your company. I apologize for how I treated you during our last conversation, and maybe how I treated you from the moment you came of age to marry. I've heard the women starting to taunt you because I was no longer speaking with you. I did not send them after you, Priscilla clarified, as the young women attacked Heather on their own accord. I also did not defend you. I had too many things happening in my life to care about it. I am aware. I accept the apology, but I am glad our relationship ended, even if it was on a bad note. I was finally able to speak with my mother and live my life how I want. It showed me who was truly my friend, and I made new friends. I am sorry to hear about your separation from Edmund. I know how much you loved him. Heather could say, as unlike others, she watched how Priscilla longed for Edmund to return her feelings. Well, I am not sorry about the separation. You should also remember how angry he made me. I know that I have hurt you, but if there is ever anything you need, my doors are always open. I owe you for all the years you have kept me company. My doors are opened for your mother, too, as long as she doesn't come barging in, screaming. So many headaches. Priscilla touched her head.